Hey, what's up, everyone? How's everyone doing? Jonathan Mathis, the sports judge. Thanks for joining me again on a nice little walk. It's Monday. For a lot of people, it's week. Monday is not easy for a lot of people, but maybe I can be a remedy. Maybe my face can help you guys relax, calm down, chill out. And for all my baseball fans out there, sorry about the poor connection. To all my baseball fans out there, I know most of you guys watched the home run derby. It started off slow. It was like a slow movie. One of those movies that's boring when it first starts. There's not a lot of action. There's not a lot of entertainment. And it just felt like one of those home run derbies where you weren't going to get a lot of action in it, but you had a lot of star power, right? You had a lot of guys that, in that home run derby, that are just absolute studs in Major League Baseball. Like, it was a great collection of talent that was on display tonight in the home run derby. Gunnar Henderson, Alec Brom, he's having a good year over in Philly. I mean, you got names, right? And I mean, these guys, put on a show, particularly Teoscar Hernández. How about Teoscar Hernández, man? Now, I need him to do the same thing he did tonight. I need him to do that in actual games in the second half of the season. I need him to hit like he hit tonight. Okay, that was a great showing. It was a great individual performance by him, and for a second there, because Bobby Witt Jr., I mean, he got off to a slow start in the final round, and then all of a sudden, he got hot. He started hitting the ball really well. He started, driving the baseball over the fence, and I believe at one point during that incredible run of his late in the final round, he hit 4 straight home runs, so he was able to find a rhythm. He was able to, to kind of get in a groove, and he looked locked in. And you saw that Bobby Witt Jr. was threatening there late. I mean, he could have easily tied with Teoscar Hernández, and for a second I was holding my breath because I thought he was going to actually tie Teoscar Hernández. It just looked like he would tie, and that would force a tiebreaker. The final ball that he hit, I mean, he put it into play, but obviously it's not a actual baseball game. You have to hit every home run over the fence. That wasn't the case on that final hit of his. I mean, it was just short of clearing the wall, right? It looked like it was a home run, but it had a lot of hang time, and I was keeping my fingers crossed because I thought it was out, and it looked like it was out. Like, it looked like, what's up, Darren? What's going on, man? How you doing, man? How you doing, Spotlight, man? Thanks for tuning in. I'm talking about the home run derby. I'm talking about Bobby Witt's final hit there that looked like a home run. I mean, it was just short. I mean, he just missed what could have been a tying home run that would have made this home run derby more interesting. But congratulations to Teoscar Hernández, man. He earned it, he won it, and he became the first Dodger in franchise history to ever win a home run derby. As many great Dodgers that we've had, no Dodger player has ever won the home run derby. And Teoscar Hernández makes history by becoming the first player to ever do so. It's amazing. It's incredible, And so, I mean, it was great. It was fun. I enjoyed every I don't want to say every second of it, because like I said, when it first started, I was yawning. It was putting me to sleep, But I watch the home run derby every year. It's something that I've been doing for a very long time. it's kind of a tradition in my household because, as you guys know, I love baseball. Baseball was a sport that I played growing up. It was always my first love. It was always my favorite sport. So, of course, I tune in. And I know a lot of people find baseball boring, but to me, you know, it's a game that brings me a lot of excitement. You know, and I enjoy baseball, and I like to watch the home run derby and the all-star game, and I'm excited about the second half of the season. Now, this is where baseball. How you doing? Good, good. This is where baseball gets interesting. It's downhill from here. I feel like every time we reach the second half of the season, I feel like baseball season just starts going hella fast. Like, next thing you know, you're in September, and then you're in the playoffs in October. I mean, that's how fast it goes by in the second half. So this is where a lot of teams are going to be making a playoff push. This is where a lot of teams are going to be fighting. You know, they're going to be in the hunt for October. This is where it's going to get good, you know. But this is a weekend for a lot of the players to enjoy. And the home run derby is always one of those fun events that we look forward to. I know they implemented some new rules. You know, you had 8 participants in this year's home run derby. I would have liked to see Shohei Ohtani back in it. I know I said at first my initial reaction to that was like, no, don't do it, because the home run derby. I'm back. I'm sorry about that, guys. It's so poor connection right here. I don't know what's going wrong. But anyway, before I lose my train of thought, the home run derby, you know, it's a fun event, you know, but I was talking about the mechanics. Sometimes it messes with the mechanics of particular players, you know, and that can have a huge effect on a player's game. You know, in meaningful games. So that's always my only concern when it comes to baseball players participating in the home run derby. But it was a fun night. Bobby Witt Jr., he fought like hell in the end. He gave it a good fight towards the end. Things were dramatic in the end. I feel like it ended in dramatic fashion. You know, it got interesting quick there, you know, particularly in that bonus round. You know, Bobby Witt Jr., and there was a lot of Kansas City fans in attendance. Like, there was a lot of people there watching, you know. Texas has done a great job hosting the event so far. The All-Star game is tomorrow. Look forward to that. You know, I'm thinking about actually moving to Texas. I've talked to Denise about it tonight. You know, I'm gonna stop buying shoes to save up, because I'm really serious about, you know, trying new things and going new places, and, you know, doing things a bit differently in my life, you know. Maybe that's what I need, change of scenery, you know, try my luck somewhere else, you know. And I talked to Denise about it tonight. I said, would you be willing to go anywhere I want to go? And she's like, yeah. That's not always easy for anybody to do that. Like, it's not easy to leave away from your family, you know, to go to another state. But I love Texas. I think Texas is a great place to live. My dad was from there. My dad was from Houston. I have family in Houston. I have family in the Arlington area. I have family in the Dallas area. I have family in the Fort Worth area. I have family throughout Texas. Like, Texas is such a big state that I have family everywhere in Texas. So yeah, I think it you know, I can always come back to California if it doesn't work out, but I doubt that I would if I get over there, because I like Texas, you know. I like Texas a lot. So, but we'll see. But not to get off topic, man. How was the home run derby for you guys? Did you guys enjoy it? Tell me in the chat. What did you think of tonight's home run derby? Were you satisfied with it? Did you find it very entertaining? You know, I know it was a great collection of talent. I mean, you got a young star in Gunnar Henderson. I really like Gunnar Henderson. He's one of my favorite players in Major League Baseball. I mean, he's young. He's come on quickly. He's ahead of schedule. He's an amazing shortstop. I saw a stat somewhere that says that has the most home runs of any shortstop before the All-Star break. You know, that's incredible. And, you know, he's on a great Orioles team, a team that a lot of people favored coming into the season, a team that a lot of people feel can get to the World Series with that young nucleus they have over there. I mean, they got a sensational group that is very capable of getting to the World Series. Of course, you got the Yankees right behind him. You know, they just finished that wonderful series this weekend, last weekend, before the All-Star break, going into the All-Star break. So the Orioles are a fun team to watch. Bobby Witt Jr. is a star in Kansas City. He's definitely somebody you can build around. You know, he's definitely a young stud in this league. And not only does he hit with power, but this is a guy who also makes plays. I mean, you always seeing him on a highlight reel. You know, you can catch him on a Sports Center top 10 play for making a great play over at third. I mean, the guy is just a fun player to watch. He's an all-star, you know, and he's just tremendously special. You know, the kid can do it all with his glove. You know, he can make plays. You know, he can hurt you with his bat. You saw that tonight in the home run derby. Teoscar Hernández has been having an amazing year with the Dodgers. I don't know where the Dodgers would be, honestly, without Teoscar Hernández, because he's had some big moments for the Dodgers. He's proven to be clutch in certain situations for the Dodgers. He's hit some grand slams. He's come up in key critical moments for the Dodgers. So, you know, Teoscar has been, you know, a big part of the Dodgers offense this season. You look at Jose Ramirez. He was a participant in the home run derby. I mean, look what the Guardians are doing. I mean, the Cleveland Guardians, I don't think no one expected them to be where they are at this point. It's amazing what you're seeing from them. You know, he has a great teammate in Stephen Kwan. Stephen Kwan had a batting average at 364 or something like that. I mean, that's amazing. Like, you know how hard it is to sustain a batting average like that and hit consistently like that on a nightly basis. I mean, that's a pretty damn good hitter. That's what it tells me. And you got Jose Ramirez, man, a very unappreciated player, a very underrated player. You know, he's just a gifted player. You know, I think a lot more people learned about him when he punched Tim Anderson in the face and kind of knocked him out cold. I think a lot of people learned more about Jose Ramirez that night, but they should have known a lot about this guy before that, because he was swinging the bat consistently well, and he was always a power hitting machine, and still is, you know. So, I mean, you had some great players participating in this home run derby. You know, it was fun to watch. The polar bear, he didn't do well. He didn't do like a lot of people expected. I know some people had him winning based on prior history, what he did in the home run derby before. You know, he's earned the nickname the polar bear. You know, but I mean, is it really that surprising given the season that he's had thus far? I mean, Pete Alonso hasn't played his best baseball this season. Here we go again, cutting in and out. But he's been up and down this season. Like, he hasn't been playing his best baseball. So it's not really that surprising that he struggled in this home run derby. I think it's something mental with him, and I think it's something mechanical with him as well. I don't know. you know, but the Mets are the Mets. You know, we know about them spending a lot of money, and the experiment hasn't always worked out the way they thought it would work out, you know. But overall, towards the end there, I enjoyed what I saw. I mean, it was fun. It was great entertainment. And it made for an exciting night. You know, I think the home run derby is always a cool event. I mean, there's been more great moments. You know, there's been better home run derbies, certainly. You know, one of my greatest memories was when was it Jason Giambi? No, it wasn't Jason Giambi. But Jason Giambi is one of my greatest memories. I remember when he killed it in the home run derby, man. He put on a show. But I think the one I'm going back to was when Mark McGwire and I can't remember the year. Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, right? You know, and these two guys have always gotten a lot of credit for apparently saving baseball and all that. You know, we know about the steroid era. We know about all that and everything, right? But that was one hell of a home run derby. That was one of the best home run derbies I've ever seen, where Sammy Sosa hit one to the street. Like, he literally cleared the entire ballpark in Milwaukee. You guys remember that home run derby? You guys know which one I'm talking about? And there was a kid on the street that caught the ball. Or he was out, he happened to be out on the street walking, and he retrieved the ball. I mean, that was one of the best home run derbies I've ever seen. And then you go back to the time that the home run derby took place in Colorado when Ken Griffey Jr. won it. I mean, there's been some great moments. You know, Cal Ripken Jr. in the early 90s winning one. You know, there's been a lot of great moments in this home run derby. You know, and tonight was a good one. I remember Josh Hamilton, you know, doing his thing in New York, where he just went completely bananas. I mean, everything was just, every ball was just flying into the stands for a souvenir. You know, that was pretty cool. You know, Albert Pujols has some big moments in it. I mean, you know, it's just been fun over the years, and it's something that I've always done traditionally. And tomorrow, I'm looking forward to the All-Star game. I think the All-Star game is going to be really good, especially with Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens was named the NL starter in tomorrow night's All-Star game. And you know who he's facing, I think? You know how the AL batting order looks? Have you guys looked at the batting order? I think the first three batters he's facing is Gunnar Henderson, who was in tonight's home run derby, Orioles shortstop. I think the second batter is Juan Soto. And I think hitting third is Aaron Judge. This is what you want if you're a baseball fan. This is absolute box office right here. This is box office success. This is what you want. Baseball has its stars. I think why baseball lacks is because they don't do a great job marketing their product. They don't do a great job branding their superstar players. A lot of casual fans couldn't tell you who half of these baseball players are. Yes, everyone knows who Shohei Ohtani is. Everyone knows who Mike Trout is and Aaron Judge are. Like, people know those guys, right? But not everybody knows who Gunnar Henderson is. Not everybody knows who Julio Rodriguez is. You know, not everybody knows, you know, who Paul Skeens is. Yes, he's made a name for himself early. He's put a stamp on that Pittsburgh Pirates, you know, pitching staff. Absolutely. But if you're not following baseball on a regular basis like that, you don't know who these guys are. You know? Not everybody knows the type of year that Corbin Burns is having with the Orioles. A guy they traded for to help solidify, you know, the top of their starting rotation, and has and he has fit in pretty nicely. He's the guy that's getting started for the AO side tomorrow night. So I mean, you know, baseball is failing in that area where they're not marketing their players, and a lot of people are just not tuning in because they feel like it's a boring sport. It doesn't really attract this younger audience. You know, everybody's watching football. A lot of people are watching basketball. You know, but baseball, no. But I was happy what I saw in the draft yesterday. And you know, you guys always hear me talk about the lack of African American players in baseball. I think we're making progress. I think we still got a long way to go, but we're making progress. I believe 9 of the first 21 draft picks yesterday were African American kids in the first round. The Christian Moore kid stands out to me the most, drafted by the Angels, the Southern California team. He's excited to be part of that organization. You know, of course, he's going to have to work his way up and go through the minor league system and eventually get there. He's going to have to earn his spot. But the kid is talented. He's a second baseman. You know, you look at him, you look at some of these other names out there. I feel like we're making a step. Like we made a major step. You know, it's still a lot of work to be done, but we can get more black players in Major League Baseball, and I'm excited about that. I'm really, really excited about that. Because when I was growing up, there were more African American players in the game of baseball. It wasn't like it is today, where there's a small portion of black players in the game. I mean, you could literally count the players on your fingers. You know, so I like what Major League Baseball's doing. I like what a lot of these African American players are doing. They're going into the urban communities to introduce the game to a lot of our young kids. You know, and I know a lot of it has to do with finances. I mean, a lot of people don't have the financial means to, you know, get the equipment needed for baseball. You know, because you need a bat, you need the cleats, you need the gloves. You know, and it's just not, I don't think it's a sport that a lot of our young kids embrace, because it's not really presented to them like basketball or football, you know. And a lot of our young kids, again, they don't find the excitement in the sport like a lot of our older kids do, like the older people from our generation. You know, it's a lot different. You know, so that was great to see yesterday. I think baseball still has a lot of room for improvement, still has a lot of room for growth. I'm not a big fan of Rob Manfred. A lot of people's not. You know, he's changed the rules. He's done so much, you know, to the game where he should have just left it the way it was. Should have just left it all alone. Didn't, you know. And so that's why the game is in the state that it is in. You know, but you look at baseball, man, and you're like, damn, there's so many stars in the game. There's so much talent in Major League Baseball right now. You know, there's a lot of talent. And, you know the big market teams, but you look at these small market teams and you got a lot of talent on these small market teams too. You know, and me, because I watch baseball all year round and I follow the sport closely, I know the talent that's out there. But the casuals don't. And that's where baseball needs to step its game up. They need to work on that. You know. But that was fun tonight, guys. I enjoyed it. Particularly in that final round. I'm happy for Teoscar Hernández representing the Dodgers, doing his thing, putting on the show, you know, giving us something to go ooh, nah about. You know, you had the fans out there with their gloves, ready to catch the ball, to get themselves a souvenir. I mean, just a nice night. I know I wish I could have been there, credentialed or just there for the fun, you know, as a fan. Wish I could have been there because, you know, I love baseball, and that would have been a fun, exciting event for me for a couple of days, just to get away too, get out of the house, get out of the state of California, you know, for a little bit. I think that's what I need. I think I need like a little getaway, you know, and that would have been perfect, just to go out there for a few days, eat some food, you know, enjoy some baseball, talk to some players maybe if I was credentialed, you know, have a little fun, do some live videos out there, give you guys some insight on what's going on, you know, give you guys a tour and a view of everything, and show you guys how they're doing it down in Texas, you know. But it's okay, you know. There's always next year. That's the way I look at it. And I know today or tomorrow isn't promised to us. You know, we take life for granted. We often say next year, but in reality, we don't realize that there may not be a next year. So you got to have fun while you're here. You got to live life to the fullest. I know it's tough without money. It really is. A lot of this stuff is expensive. If you're into sports, sporting events are very expensive. You know, a poor person doesn't really have a chance, sadly. And all you can really do, especially if you have a family of 4 or a big family, all you could really do is, honestly, all you can really do is stay home and watch the games on TV. You know, I mean, that's all you can really do. But I'm excited about the game tomorrow. I will definitely tune into that. We'll probably chat about that a little bit. I'm sorry about my poor connection, by the way. You know, cutting in and out at times. But the ones who stayed with me during this video, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. You know, I know that can be frustrating when a video's cutting in and out. It makes you just click off. But I'm gonna wrap this up now. As I make my way back towards the house, I still got a little ways to go. I'm in my neighborhood, but I'm not too far from the house. I just gotta walk around the park right here, and then one more street down, and then I make a right and I'm back on my street. So I'm in my neighborhood, just taking a walk. It feels good out here. It's cool. It's not too hot. You know, earlier today it was kind of warm when I took my daughter to the park. We hung out there a little bit, took her on the swings, did my thing, you know, had a good time. And sometimes I have to just step out of the house and have some time for myself. You know, is that being a little selfish, wanting time for yourself? You know, I think that's a discussion worth having, right? Is it been a little selfish when you want time for yourself, or when you just need time away from people, especially people that get on your nerves? Not my daughter particularly, not my fiance, you know, but just people in general. Nothing ever personal. I mean, sometimes you just gotta step out of the house. You gotta say, I can't deal with this right now. I'll just come out, take a walk, clear my mind, and then I'll go back home and do my thing, you know. That was pretty cool. This family right here in this house, they had the garage open. They had a TV in there, and they kicked back on the couch watching TV and stuff in the garage, you know. Now see, if I didn't have so much junk, if there wasn't so much junk in my garage, I could set up my podcasting studio there in my little man cave. I could set that all up in the garage like that. They were in there watching TV, eating stuff on the couch and stuff. That was pretty cool. And then they had the garage door open. They shut it, but they had the garage door open, and they have that screen. You know, that screen that goes on that people put on their garage door to keep the bugs and flies out and stuff like that. That's pretty neat. That's actually cool. You'd be surprised how people can get creative with their decor and just the way they do things at home. You'd be amazed by what you could learn from other people and how they do things in their house. And you can kind of take some of that and do that with your house. But yeah, there's a lot of things I want to do. There's a lot of, I got a lot of goals and ambitions. I got a lot of things in mind. There's a lot of things I want to accomplish. There's a lot of things I got to do. There's a lot of things I want. There's a lot of things I don't need, but I want, and so I'm just going to continue to work, continue to grind, continue to bust my ass so I could get to that next level. But guys, I'm out of here now. Thanks for tuning in. It's been fun chatting with y'all. But I'm about to wrap this video up now before I cut in and out again, because I'm walking in an area where I know it gets poor connection again. I don't know why it does that. It's weird. I don't know why, but guys, it's been fun chatting as always. To all my baseball fans out there, thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. But guys, you guys take care of yourselves and you guys have a good night. All right, talk to you guys soon.